The Environmental Protection Agency said on Friday greenhouse gases endanger human health and welfare, opening the door for the EPA to possibly regulate carbon dioxide as a pollutant. The EPA found rising levels of greenhouse gases are, quote, the unambiguous result of human emissions and are very likely the cause of the observed increase in average temperatures and other climate changes. In economic news, Bloomberg News has filed a lawsuit to force the Federal Reserve to disclose information about the $2 trillion it's lent to financial institutions. The Fed has refused to name the borrowers or the amounts of loans. The biggest recipients of taxpayer aid made or refinanced 23% less in new loans in February than in October. Goldman Sachs reduced lending by 50%. In news from Britain, a London police officer is being questioned on suspicion of manslaughter following the death of a British man during the G20 protests. An autopsy has found Ian Tomlinson died from internal bleeding, not a heart attack. Tomlinson was a newspaper seller who got caught up in the middle of the G20 protest. Video has emerged showing a baton-wielding British police officer hitting Tomlinson and shoving him to the ground shortly before he collapsed and died. The Independent Police Complaints Commission is also investigating at least 2 other assaults committed by the police during the protest. A Swedish court has sentenced the 4 founders of the file-sharing website Pirate Bay to 1 year in prison and to pay a $3.5 million fine for violating copyright laws. The men were convicted even though they did not host copyrighted works on their own servers. Instead, the site indexed and tracked torrent files. Attorney Per Samuelsson represented the founders of Pirate Bay.
My comment is that the Swedish legal system didn't stand against the political pressure from the whole of the world, from the whole of the power, and it's very hard for them to acquit, but they should have done that. So this is a proof that the legal system doesn't work when you put enough pressure on it.
In other tech news, Time Warner Cable has announced it'll stop testing a new pricing model where customers are being charged for how much internet bandwidth they used. Time Warner had proposed charging as much as $150 per month for unlimited web downloads. The 2009 Goldman Environmental Prizes are being awarded today in San Francisco. Recipients include the Indonesian activist Yuyun Ismawati, who developed a community-based waste management system to stem her island nation's overwhelming waste infrastructural problems. I spoke to her last week in San Francisco.
We need more efforts from all countries, but it has to be a better mechanism how developed countries can channel support to developing countries to reduce the greenhouse gases emissions. Clean development mechanism should be reformed because the complicated and difficult mechanism cannot be implemented in the field to reach the target of reduction.
The other recipients of the Goldman Prize are West Virginian anti-coal mining activist Maria Gunno, the Russian physicist Olga Separansky, who is campaigning to get rid of the former Soviet Union of toxic chemicals, the Bangladeshi environmental attorney Rizwana Hassan, 2 anti-logging activists from the South American nation of Suriname, and conservationist Mark Ona Esangui from the African nation of Gabon.
Forest that we are defending in Gabon isn't only for Gabon, it's for the interests of the entire planet. Climate change, the destruction of the ozone layer, it's not only about Gabon, it's about the planet. A tree that is saved in Gabon will in the future save many lives in many countries.
And in Colorado, hundreds attended a vigil Sunday to mark the 10th anniversary of the Columbine High School massacre, when 2 students killed 12 students and a teacher and injured many more. And those are some of the headlines. This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, the War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. We're on the road in Albuquerque, New Mexico.